guys, let's catch up. It's perfect timing because I feel like we haven't really caught up. I just want to be as candid as possible. Normally I kind of read through the questions and already have something like pre-planned to say. I don't want to do that. I just want to be myself. How are you? Like truly, how are you? I feel like a lot has been going on, and that's with everyone. I'm back in therapy. I'm also seeing a psychiatrist. I think I'll get into that in a little bit. Wow. Yeah, it's in my brain. I think being in therapy, I've realized a lot of things that I'm resenting. Someone actually briefly asked how I was healing or dealing with my sister's passing. I'm only like bringing this up because it's been a big part of what I've been dealing with in therapy. I'm gonna be completely just open about this. If my sister's kids are watching, I want them to know this has nothing to do with their mom. I think there's a lot of guilt in terms of being like involved in their lives. That's not even the point of what I'm talking about. My mom has become the big topic. I believe I'm resenting my mom for a lot of things. That's not her fault. My mom, of course, mourns the loss of my sister. That's her child. I would feel the exact same way. And again, this is very selfish to think because I understand. I don't think I'd ever recover or heal. I know my mom's depressed and she tends to put that on me and it's this continuous cycle where she makes the rest of us feel like my sister who passed away is the only child. It's hurtful when my mom only sees her as the only child and her only hope, her only love. I just wanted to hop in. Well, this didn't make sense at all, I am aware. But I think what it is I've always felt like I had to earn my mom's love conditionally, and so to see her express such unconditional love for my sister who passed through her whole life and after validates the inconsistency that I've always felt. My mom has a way with her words and it's very manipulative even if she's not intentionally doing so. However, that doesn't take away the fact that she's always made us feel bad for the loss of my sister. I don't even know how that works, but if you've gone through something similar in losing like a sibling, like you would know that it's a very real existence of feeling guilty for the loss of your sibling. Your parent have a way of making you feel bad about it. It might not even make sense to most of you guys, but if you have lost a sibling, if you can like also elaborate on this. I don't know if it's jealousy or feeling unseen or undeserving, but I think I'm just kind of tired of having to feel like a parent to my mom and having to feel bad all the time. And I like hate myself for allowing this to bleed into the grief of my sister. I think because of this, it's holding me back from fully grieving in peace and harmony. Like I've never gone through a process of grief in this sense. Like it's over a year and I never even had like a super close relationship with my older sister. Again, the relationship was estranged to me. I visited her and I spent time with her when I was like in high school. Like I'm grieving this person who I don't really know, but is my sister, and then like I'm made out to feel bad for not, I don't know, but I don't know. It's getting harder because my mom is flying in. There's so much to unpack, but how do you do that with an elderly Hmong mother? Like it doesn't exist, so it feels hopeless. I love my mom, but I think she is a queen. Like she is so good at making her children feel bad. One thing on top of the other, and you just can't help but feel this resentment fired underneath you. Having these brewing feelings and thoughts, it feels so wrong. And that's why I'm glad I'm in therapy. Okay, well this is a lighter question, I suppose. Do you want to get married soon or have kids? I do. Wow, wait, hold on. I scared myself. I don't think it's anytime soon. One day, yes, of course I want to be married. Some days I do want to have kids. Some days I don't. Do I foresee kids in my future? If I am able to? I am so scared to bring children to this world where I will traumatize and they will have to deal with things at this age, like myself. That's what makes me not confident. I'm like scared I might do things that would, taint their human experience. Infertility is a big topic that we weren't really taught about as teenagers growing up. I kind of prepared for that my whole 20s I want to if I am blessed with the ability to. So, short answer, yes. I do see myself getting married and having kids one day. Things you wish you knew before you bought a house. Oh my goodness. Who the heck is gonna mow the lawn? My yard's yellow. It's not my fault. We had a windstorm when our fertilizer was freshly laid down. My neighbors make me look like a joke. Also, when you have the hose connected to your hose, unscrew that and put that in your garage, because if you leave it throughout winter, it will rust and get stuck. Borrowed a wrench from my brother, haven't attempted to go take it out. Do you like having a close-knit group of friends or lots of friends to hang out with rarely? I think people don't really believe me when I'm like, I really don't have friends. I will say I do have a good group of people who I befriended through my sister, her med school friends. I'm fully content just having them as my close friends. We may not see each other often, we may not text each other often, but when we are together, it is the most satisfying, blooming, content, pure friendship that I've ever experienced. No matter where we are in life, there's just this tight closeness there that will always bounce back, and I genuinely know that I care and love them so much. I am just really, really grateful and thankful that I met them. I'm turning 29 in like 3 weeks. Holy schmoly. It's perfectly fine being 29 and not having best friends that you talk to daily and see daily. You know, the older you are, it's just more difficult to make friends. It is sad thinking how difficult it is to build a community or find a community you fit in. How do I find friends? Finding people who are like kind of at the same level as you are in terms of lifestyle is difficult. If you really, really want friends and to find a community, you'll push yourself to do that. You'll push yourself to meet people, whether that's within groups, local paint night, whatever it is, singles night. With time, you'll be able to do that. Look at me, my buddy. This is actually from soy, or food with soy. Is it Dave & Buster's or something? She won it. She's like, here you go. So, see, I have friends. They're just not here. Things you've learned recently with your relationship. That I needed therapy. That my mental needs can be different from his. I have an anxious attachment style. Woohoo. And so when there's space created, I tend to take that space as distance. And then the emotional closeness and connection, it feels shaky. A lot of us have gone through extreme abandonment and inconsistency in our lives as a child to a teen to a young adult. So that's playing out in real-time relationships. I can't stress enough, therapy is teaching me boundaries, teaching me communication, teaching me expectations, teaching me how to voice what I need and feeling firm and secure in that, feeling confident and asking. That is definitely one big thing that I've learned in this relationship, and I'm actively trying to work towards like a safer space, work on how I can support more, how I can show up more. How does your mom feel about you dating a white guy and not a Hmong guy? My mom, of course, was against it actually at first. It was actually towards my first ex, who was also white, specifically Hmong parents. They come from a very old-fashioned, traditional background. It's taboo and disrespectful, kind of throwing away your reputation. It's looked down upon in the community. I think nowadays it's a lot more accepted. They've seen that the world is evolving finally. Race has nothing to do with how they treat or love your daughter. My first ex, they never met, by the way, but she didn't like the idea of it. I had to be really firm and stand my ground. However, it wasn't a shock to anyone because I've always been the child in my family to voice my opinions about how much I hated the misogyny, how women were treated, how men are, how men act, what's expected from women. Why do women act this way? I was a very curious and rebellious child in the sense of never complying or agreeing to the way women were treated. I knew at a very young age it wasn't right. I knew at a very young age I would never comply to that. I would never go with the society and our culture. I was on a different movement here, girl. My mom and I did get in a really, really big fight. Just stopped talking to each other for a long time. I think for like 2-3 months. She said something really mean about my relationship at the time because of the fact that he wasn't home. But then when we like rekindled and talked, she fully came forward and said she understands why I was upset. It's my life and she'll always support my choices. Even if she wants me to stop, I can't. So she's just going to support my decision. That was the first step that I was just like, good. Are you actually opening your eyes? When my ex and I broke up, like I was super grateful that my mom and even my brothers, like they never used it against me. They were actually really supportive and allowed me to grow on my own from that experience. And then when Al and I started dating, they were pretty open to it. And it helped because she did meet him and she loves Al, loves how friendly he is. They don't even communicate because my mom doesn't speak English. My mom feels warmth in his embrace, and so my mom's always like, he has such a good character, he has such a kind smile, has a warm energy. And I think my mom saw like how well he treated me too, like just the sweetness. My mom is so for it, and she's admitted too. It's not about him being Caucasian, it's about the kind of person he is and how he loves me. She's so supportive, loves our relationship. What is your end goal in this life? That is a very deep question. I don't know. I just want to be happy. I just want to be proud of myself. This question actually brings a lot of perspective. It's literally not about your pant size at the end of the day, how much weight you've lost. None of that matters. At the end of my life, my goal is honestly to just be proud of who I am, what I've become, and have no regrets in things that I've wanted to do or not do. In my own little bubble, do my own little thing, no longer caring about the rest of the world. I just want to be authentically myself. Maybe I could just finally be peaceful with myself and not have, just not feel any more pressure. I literally have to meet a friend after this. I think we should end it there. This has been the realest conversations we ever had. I hope this conversation reached at least 5 of you. I hope you can just see me like eye to eye as just like your neighbor or something. That's the kind of person I want you to see me as. Just this like girl next door, neighbor, bestie, friend. Take care of yourself, take care of your brain.
Even if you try